Hey, what's up? So this is a tarot reading for Capricorn, July 1st to the 15th, 2021. So, as you can see, shuffling up the cards. Let's get to the reading. So the cards that I come up with are the Three of Swords. Oh yeah, by the way, comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. So you have the Three of Swords. You have the Eight of Swords. The Six of Wands, Five of Swords. Wow, okay. Two of Wands, the Moon, the Empress, the Ace of Swords. Wow. Page of Cups, Star card, Tower, the Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups. You have the Ace of Wands, wow, and then you have, last but not least, Page of Wands. Okay, so for the Capricorns, a lot of you Capricorns have to understand that you may be heartbroken now over something. You may be heartbroken over your past relationships specifically. But you're not going to be heartbroken for very long. Five of Swords, right? This person may have rejected you. You wish they didn't. You really like them. The Six of Wands, but ultimately, the victory is yours, okay? Or more so, the Eight of Swords. Sorry, not Five of Swords. Eight of Swords. That's later on in the reading. You try to talk them out of it. Come to find out, that only lasted for a little while. Then they decided to break up with you again. Five of Swords, you know what I mean? They're letting you know that they're rejected. You know, that they don't want to be with you anymore, unfortunately. And then the Two of Wands represents how a lot of you Capricorns thought you had something special with that person. So the Moon now represents how, so now a lot of you Capricorns, let's not forget that Capricorn is this, not just the goat, but also the sea goat, in the sense that Capricorn can be a person that can get caught up in their own emotions or feelings sometimes, right? Capricorns like making it seem as if somehow, like, you know, they're stone cold and super professional all the time and nothing affects them. But in actuality, you know, there's a reason why they're the opposite zodiac sign of Cancer, Crabs. And the Moon essentially says it all. And the Moon is ruled by Cancer. Cancer, Crabs. It represents how, when it represents the deep brooding nature of Capricorn, of how they could be crying or very unhappy about something on the inside. And a lot of you really have to understand that, you know, if you don't pay attention to that, if you Capricorns don't pay attention to your own feelings, then you can end up in a situation of depression or being unhappy, really unhappy about something. And to a certain extent, you're right to be unhappy, you know. Who wants to be rejected, but at the same time, this person rejected you because of their own internal stuff, right? Especially if you're being good to them. It always boggled the mind how people can be, how people can try to use individuals who are good to them, which goes to show you just the level of mental illness that we have out here. How can somebody, think about that for a minute. How can somebody be using someone who actually cares about where you put your head every night? You know, where do you sleep? It's mind-boggling. And see, the thing is that you have the Empress, right, which represents you have to get here. You have to get to a point where you get over this depression or this downtroddenness that you have, and you get here. You get to the Empress, which represents how you realize that you have a lot of things going for you, and you don't get yourself caught up in the level of thinking that you don't. The Ace of Swords represents how it's the Ace of Swords is very appropriate because it represents how it doesn't necessarily mean that all of your problems are over with and you're not necessarily going to have any problems in dating. You still are. as all of us are, you know. Some of us have just lost faith, or not faith, I don't want to say that, but some of us have just lost trust in dating because they know the result and they know, okay, more than likely this ain't going to necessarily work out, right? So based upon their past history, they understand there's no point in them continuing to like go on or interact the way that they want to, because this represents how they understand that it's not going to people who have that mentality understand that it's not going to work, and to a certain extent that they're right. But see, you have to understand that even though that's the case, not everything is downtrodden, you know. Not everything is going to be terrible for you unless you let it. You know, me personally, I'm not in the dating arena at all. I'm not interested whatsoever. I think it's a waste of time personally. But this ain't about me. This is about you. And if you Capricorns want to find a loving relationship, right, the Page of Cups represents how, number one of the first things that you will have to watch out for is the inconsistencies, as well as if a person is fugazi. If they have a crazy off the wall perspective, right, where you're asking them certain questions and some of the things that they're saying to you when you're getting to know someone doesn't necessarily make any kind of sense, then you know good and well that this is a person that is off their rocker and you shouldn't be dating them. So another card that I came up with is the Star card. The Star card represents how as you're continuing to date, you want to meet the right one. You know what I mean? The Star card is your dreams and aspirations, right? Because the star represents Aquarius. It represents the 11th house. So it represents how, you know, you want to be in a relationship. You may even potentially want to be married. Or if not necessarily married, you want to be in a long-lasting, trustworthy relationship. But see, the thing is, what's in your way is the Tower. And the Tower represents all of these individuals that represent the Page of Cups, as well as you, because the Page of Cups also represent you can potentially be in your own way in the context of love, because you don't see yourself as being important enough to do what it is that you need to do. Stop trying to get people to fit a specific role. You're not going to get the rich business person. That's not going to happen. You know, I'm not saying that 100% is not going to happen, but point of what it is that I am saying is that if the person presents themselves to you in that way, what is the point of you in a different way besides the rich business person? What is the point of you trying to push that person into being someone whom they're just not they're just not right now? I'm not saying that people don't learn and grow, but what I'm saying is that, you know, some people need to be workers. Some people need to work for other people. Some people need to actually you know, they can start their own business. And the Tower represent how, you know, try not to change people in the sense of like change people. You know what I mean? If a person is already on the upswing, then this person is already on the upswing, right? Unless they change their direction as to being on the upswing to the downswing, then you pretty much know. But the problem that you're having too, Capricorn, is you're trying to change these individuals to be something they're not. And see, the thing is that the Queen of Cups now represents how, since this is the case, you have to learn to be more accepting of who they are. 10 of Cups, and you have to learn to when they aren't the people whom you're looking for, to cut this person off and don't even waste your time. The Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands represents how you continue, well, the Ace of Wands, continue to do that until you find the right one. Page of Wands, move on from the people who aren't the right one for you. But the only way you're going to find out if they're the right one, you're not going to be able to find out that they're the right one on the first date, okay? It's not going to happen. Often too as well. People have problems with dating. People don't want to date anymore. You're speaking to somebody and then they cut you off and you don't hear from them. They ghost you off of one time of speaking to them. That's weird. You expect this person to show you exactly who they are and different aspects of themselves all on the first encounter. It's kind of weird for whoever thinks that. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Capricorns are weird. I'm saying that you have to check that ideology. So let's clarify the star card. Let's clarify the star card. So you have the Loco, right? I'm using the Voodoo Tarot, the Rada Mambo, and you have the Urzuli Freda, the Omi. So if I'm not mistaken, the Loco is the Tower as well. So this just represents how, trying to change people is a big thing for you, right? And this is to clarify. This isn't even to clarify the Tower. It's to clarify the moon. And not the moon, excuse me, the star. And it represents trying not to do that. The person that you are supposed to change ultimately is yourself, and you have to pay attention to that. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a disposition that you really don't want to be in. Mambo represents how this is also a situation for you where what you also want to do is careful for cutting people off that don't necessarily fit the role as well. And Urzuli de Freda is let me show it to you again. Concentrate on you. You're beautiful just as you are in certain respects, but you do also have to compromise, and change yourself in certain regards too, so that you can keep perfecting, right? Whenever it is that a lot of people don't know this, but whenever it is that you date, you're supposed to learn lessons, even from your failures. You're supposed to learn what it is that you did wrong. Too many people don't realize what it is that they did wrong, but at the same time, they ask themselves, why don't relationships don't work out for them? And they essentially turn to just giving up some of them and sleeping with everyone. So let's clarify the Tower. You have Mambo, you have Honsis, you have La Serene. So clarify the Tower. This is saying that you have to learn to be calm and peaceful within your own self before you can meet the right person for you. Because as of right now, a lot of you Capricorns may not really be that kind of person. So it's a work in progress. As it is with everything, it's a work in progress. You have to learn to start working on yourselves, and you don't want to get yourselves caught up in that kind of situation, right? Let's clarify the moon. Clarify the moon real quick. You have the Azaka La Flambeau, you have the Grand Bois, and you have the Yaguo. So to clarify the moon, this represents how you have to learn to get your enthusiasm for life back in dating. Okay. Grand Bois represents how it is that you have to, well, it's the Ace of Cups. So it represents how you have to learn, like I said, not just learn to get your confidence back, but also you have to learn to start trusting people as well. You know what I mean? A lot of the times Capricorns don't trust people. And it's like, so what are you dating for? What are you trying to get someone for, But again, this is the reason why all these games continue to play. You're dating someone who you don't even trust. That doesn't even make any sense. And then Yaguo represents how this is also a situation for you where and if you can't find love, then just stay single for a while and date sparingly. You're not supposed to be dating, becoming a serial dater. You should really spend time to get to know yourselves when you're in between phases of dating people, because you can get an idea of who you are, what you want, and what you need. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.